Hey everybody, welcome to the best decision you have ever made in your professional career. Welcome to Dallas ISD. You are now part of the most rapidly transforming district in the entire Metroplex. And that starts with everybody in this room and works its way all the way up to the very top leadership.
We have an Office of Transformation and Innovation. You are part of that because you are going to transform lives. You're going to transform possibilities. You're going to innovate in the classroom. And we cannot be more grateful to see all of you here today because we know, because you're here, our kids are going to keep going and keep growing. And we are grateful for you today. I want to see how many brand new first-year teachers are in the room, and I'm gonna make you stand up and wave at me. Yeah, stand up, be proud, new year. Woo. Yeah!
Let's hear it for them.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
My name is Michael Ruiz. I'm assistant principal at Woodrow Wilson High School, and I was Dallas ISD Teacher of the Year, one of the Teachers of the Year in 2015.
Whoop, whoop. I'm Rachel Hara. I'm the Director of Theater and Dance for Dallas ISD, and I also was a 2015 Secondary Teacher of the Year.
There are initiatives in Dallas that are transforming schools and transforming lives, whether it be Blanton out in Pleasant Grove, doing better in math than Highland Park. How many Blanton Bruins do we have in the crowd? Let me hear you. Got a couple over there? Stand up. You are part of something special. And there are several people, but the two people at the top, you'll be hearing from them today. One of them is coming up to the stage right now. I want you to really pay close attention because they've been instrumental in establishing the foundations that allowed for this transformation to happen.
I'm so excited to be able to tell you about the next person who's coming to the stage because he was my trustee when I was teaching as well at Thomas Jefferson High School. Dr. Flores is a person who is all about continuing education and continuing growth. He serves District 1, and he does it with fervor. He believes not only in supporting you as an educator, you as a school, and the family and community that stands behind that school. It's a pretty big deal for him to be able to step into your school, and he does it every single time, and it is his passion to do so. I talk about education because something that I found out about him that I did not know was at 26, he received his PhD, and he said, you know what, I've got some more things to do. I'm 26 and I've got my PhD, but I'm gonna go back and get a law degree as well. And so I know, that's serious, right? I'm telling you. He also is a managing partner and founder of the intellectual property law firm of Chalker Flores, LLP. He focuses his practice on, I just told you two things, biotechnology patent law. That's serious business, I'm telling you. He was born and raised in Mexico City, and he is fully bilingual and bicultural. Ooh, woos in the back, yes. Indeed, yes. And he is representing District 1. And please put your hands together for Dr. Edwin Flores.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is my honor and privilege to be here with you. Our educators are going to start helping our kiddos, and it really is on behalf of the Dallas School Board. First of all, I want to thank you. A lot of people say that what I do as a trustee is a thankless job. A lot of people say what the administration does is thankless. What you're going to do as teachers is thankless. It is not. I get thanked every day, all the time, by constituents, by parents, by kids. So it really is a thankful job as far as I'm concerned, and so thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the Dallas ISD family. As it was mentioned, we're the fastest transforming district not only in this region, but really across the country, and we have some amazing initiatives that so many people are coming to Dallas to learn about. And so I was just told I have 12 minutes But since I'm a lawyer, I get double that, and since I've taught college, I get double that, and since I'm a politician, double that, so you'll hear from me for the next 48 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. I want to tell you two stories that I think tell you a lot about kind of the way I look at leadership and your leadership in the classroom. The first one has to do with my dad. So my dad was born in a little town called Celaya in the state of Guanajuato. Anybody from Guanajuato? If you're from Celaya, you're a Torres, a Flores, or a Maldonado, you're a relative of mine. There are a lot of us. But he was born into a household. He was the oldest of 14 children, 10 of which survived childhood. This is Mexico in the 20s and 30s, central Mexico. And he was born to two parents that had a second-grade education. He lived in a house with dirt floors. He went to an elementary school. He was the oldest of the 10 children that survived. And he was the first in his family to finish elementary school. He was also the first in his family to finish middle school. Nobody had ever done that before. Celaya was such a small town that Celaya didn't have a high school. My dad had to go to Zamora, Michoacan, because they had a high school with a dorm, and so he was also the first in our family to finish high school. He was then able and fortunate to go to the National Polytechnic Institute in Mexico City and got his degrees in electrical engineering and mechanical engineering. He's the only Mexican, I think, to this date who's been first in his class in both. Then he was fortunate enough to come to this great country. He was a part of what's called the Atoms for Peace program, which was a President Eisenhower initiative in which he invited scientists from all over the world. And he was fortunate enough to be able to come to do his master's at Lehigh in Pennsylvania in nuclear engineering. And he was then able also to go to Cornell and get his PhD. He was Mexico's first PhD in nuclear physics. So, being the oldest, the other siblings followed his initiative, and so his next brother was a doctor. My aunts and uncles in Mexico in the 50s got degrees in chemistry and engineering. I have another uncle who's a nuclear physicist and a bunch who are engineers. The moral of the story is that it doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter if you're Mexican or Hispanic or minority or, whatever you are. You have potential. And the key is that your family and your teachers need to believe in you. It is that belief that made it possible for him to succeed. It is that belief that allowed his family to work itself out of poverty, because education is the great equalizer. And so that's the first story. Education is the great equalizer, and you have to believe, and people have to believe in you to be able to succeed. The second story is a Dallas ISD story. So in 2005, I was first elected to the Dallas School Board, and I'm at a Dallas Bar Association meeting where they're inaugurating the new president of the Dallas Bar Association. I'm a lawyer, so I was there, and he told a story about how when he was a young lawyer 25 years earlier, so now, early 80s, he was part of a mentorship program that the Dallas Bar Association continues to this day with our students. And he remembers mentoring a young man, I don't remember what high school he went to, and he tells the story to a room full of lawyers, 600 lawyers, about how he mentored the student and how important it was to him to be able to give back to the community and get to know this young man that he'd been mentoring. They had lunch together and they would have phone calls and whatnot. And, the student eventually graduated from high school, and he remembers vividly the student telling him, "You are the first person who's ever believed in me." And so we're driving home, and my wife is looking at me, and I'm just sullen. She just sees that I'm tense, and she goes, why are you so tense? And I said, I'm asking myself, this is 2005, how many students today in Dallas ISD would say that? This was 2005. How many students today of our students would say that some stranger that is, reached back to them was the first to believe in them? So, my charge to you is to ask yourself, do you believe in our students? Do you believe in their opportunity, their possibility to succeed. And that's the message. So I want everybody to stand up. This is the audience participation part. So despite what my juvenile record says and the fact that it's probably been expunged by now, I was a fairly okay student and probably got myself into trouble way too much. But nevertheless, as you heard, I was able to succeed. So imagine yourself in your classroom this year, and you have a Victor Flores, my dad, in desperate poverty, trying to work his way out. And then you have me in your classroom, who's had many, many opportunities, but probably is probably on the talented and gifted side and needs to be challenged. And you're dealing with these two students. And so I want you to say, I believe in you. I believe in you. And you're looking at Victor and you're going to say, I believe in you. And you're looking at me, again with my juvenile record, and you're going to say, I also believe in you. So you can sit down now. That was the audience participation part. But my point is, during this year, you are going to be challenged, especially the ones that are new to the profession, in ways that you do not understand yet. And so I'm going to tell you, as the president of the Dallas School Board, that I believe in you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.